Hello, hi, welcome back to our deep dive. Today, we're getting into talking smart and thinking faster.
Yeah, you shared some great points about boosting English-speaking confidence.
Right, and today our mission is really to unpack those core strategies. How can you communicate more fluently, more naturally?
It's all about cutting down that mental lag.
Exactly, so you can express yourself with greater ease.
Okay, so let's start with a fundamental idea. What does thinking fast actually mean when we're talking about language?
Good question.
It's essentially about reacting, communicating spontaneously.
Yeah.
Especially in, real-time conversations.
Right, like casual chats, meetings.
Even interviews, yeah.
Yeah.
Those moments where pausing too long can kind of disrupt the whole flow.
It really can. You know that feeling, right? Where your brain feels like it's working overtime just to keep up with what you want to say.
Oh, definitely. And for many people, especially if you're still learning English, it's often compounded by that urge to translate everything.
Yes, that internal translation step.
Our goal here is to help you move beyond that sort of word-for-word translation.
So your speech becomes quicker, more instinctive.
Exactly. More automatic.
And here's something crucial, I think. The less we stress about perfect grammar, perfect vocabulary in every single sentence, the more confident we actually become overall. Wouldn't you agree?
Totally. It becomes more about connecting with the person you're talking to rather than, achieving flawless articulation.
Right. Even native speakers make mistakes. We all do.
The key is just staying engaged, keeping the conversation moving.
Think back maybe when you were first learning a new language. Remember those moments. A simple question just freezes your brain.
Oh, yeah. It's such a common experience.
But as you practice letting go of that need for, absolute perfection,
And focus on just natural expression.
you start to feel more comfortable, your responses get more automatic.
And that's really what we're aiming for in this deep dive, helping you reach that comfort level.
So you can think faster, speak more effectively, and actually, enjoy your English conversations.
Okay, so what are some of the common roadblocks then? Things that make thinking fast feel difficult.
Well, one big one, be honest with yourself here, listener. Have you ever felt that fear of making mistakes just holding you back?
That's huge. That feeling like you have to construct the perfect sentence before you dare open your mouth.
Yeah. And then the moment just passes.
It's like a mental warning sign flashing, freezing you mid-thought.
And overthinking, that's another massive one.
Oh, definitely. Ever find yourself analyzing what you want to say so much, worrying about how it'll sound?
And you end up saying nothing at all.
Exactly. It's like having this intense internal editor just constantly critiquing everything.
Then, of course, there's the language barrier itself. That plays a big role.
Absolutely. When English isn't your first language, that process of searching for the right word.
Or mentally translating.
Right. It just inherently slows things down. It's like trying to navigate with extra weight.
That's a good analogy. And even when you do know the word, sometimes you hesitate, right?
Yeah, you question your pronunciation or maybe the grammar, that constant second guessing.
It really impacts your speed, your confidence.
And another key factor, just lack of practice.
Simple as that sometimes. If you don't actively speak English often, your brain isn't, trained to respond quickly in real conversations.
It's like any skill, isn't it? If you don't exercise it.
It won't perform optimally when you need it. Just listening to English, it's good.
It's beneficial, sure, but it's not the same as actively engaging, actually speaking.
Okay, so quick recap. Common obstacles, fear of mistakes,
Overthinking.
language barriers, that translation step.
And just insufficient active practice.
But the good news is these are all challenges you can work on. They can be overcome.
Absolutely. So now let's get into some practical techniques, things you can start using right away.
Okay, let's dig in. Actionable strategies. First one, actively practice thinking in English.
Ah, yes. Instead of translating from your native language.
Try to form the thoughts directly in English. It can be simple stuff.
Like narrating your surroundings in your head.
Exactly. The sky is blue. This coffee is hot. Just a little mental exercise.
This helps your brain bypass that translation step. Operate directly in English mode.
It might feel a bit weird at first, maybe a little forced.
Yeah, but with consistent practice, it becomes more automatic. Your brain gets used to just staying in English.
Technique number 2, focus on using simple language.
Oh, this is a good one. There's no need to strive for really complex vocabulary just to sound intelligent.
Right. Often clear, straightforward sentences are actually the most effective.
Many learners think using big words makes them sound smarter, but honestly, Simplicity often leads to more powerful, direct communication.
It's much better to confidently say, I disagree, than to, stumble over some complicated phrase you're not sure about.
Clarity over complexity, definitely.
Okay, third technique. This involves learning chunks of language.
Chunks, you mean like phrases?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of memorizing single words in isolation, focus on learning groups of words that often go together.
Like common phrases. Nice to see you, or...
Could you please repeat that? Things like that.
Okay, I see. So when you have these ready-made chunks...
You don't have to build sentences word by word. It speeds up your response time significantly.
Because you can just retrieve the whole phrase, like pulling out a pre-built unit.
Precisely. Technique number 4. Deliberately practice speaking under a bit of time pressure.
Ooh, okay. Sounds intense.
It can be, but it's effective. Like, set a timer, maybe just 30 seconds.
And do what?
Challenge yourself to talk about any random topic without stopping.
Okay. The goal isn't perfection then?
Not at all. The goal is just to push yourself to speak continuously, even if it feels a bit messy.
So it trains your brain to formulate responses faster in real time, like a mental sprint.
Exactly like a mental sprint. Okay, technique number 5 involves the smart use of filler words.
Wait, filler words like, aren't those bad?
Not necessarily. Words like, well, let me see. They can actually be your allies.
How so?
They give you brief pauses, time to organize your thoughts without creating awkward silence.
Okay. Like buying yourself a second.
Exactly. Native speakers use them all the time, naturally.
Sure.
So don't be afraid to use them when you need a moment.
They're like little thinking spaces in the conversation.
Perfectly put. And our final technique for now is to consciously try to stay relaxed during conversations.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True. But when you're feeling stressed or anxious, your cognitive functions, including accessing language, they slow down.
Right. Your brain kind of seizes up.
Yeah. So by consciously trying to remain calm, composed, you'll often find ideas flow more freely.
And your responses become quicker naturally.
Because you're not fighting the anxiety as much. Remember, the main purpose of speaking is connection.
Not achieving some impossible standard of perfection.
Exactly. It's about connecting, not flawless performance.
Okay, great stuff. So quick summary of those techniques again.
Sure. 1. Practice thinking directly in English.
2. Prioritize simple, clear language.
3. Learn and use language chunks, those common phrases.
4. Engage in timed speaking practice. Get that speed up.
5. Use filler words strategically to buy thinking time.
And 6. Consciously work on staying relaxed during conversations.
These strategies, if you practice them consistently, they will help you think faster and speak more confidently.
And the more you actively apply them, the more natural, the more automatic they'll become.
So you now have, hopefully, a really good set of practical tools to start improving.
Yeah, tools to help you think more quickly and speak more confidently in English.
And I think the key takeaway here is that these are skills you can actively develop.
Right. Through consistent effort and maybe shifting your focus a bit.
Shifting from perfection to just effective communication.
Exactly.
So think about the technique we discussed that maybe resonated most with you personally.
Which one stood out? Maybe thinking directly in English.
Or maybe it was that permission to just use simple language, not feeling you have to impress.
Whichever it is, maybe start experimenting with just that one this week.
Yeah, try it out. See how it impacts your next English conversation. Observe what happens.
Because this is really just the beginning, isn't it? The start of the journey towards more fluent, more confident communication.
Absolutely. And maybe think about other aspects of speaking English you find tricky.
Yeah, what other situations make you feel that pressure to think and respond really fast?
Considering those questions as you practice can be really helpful too.
We really encourage you to reflect on your own experiences. Identify where applying these techniques could make a real difference for you.
Remember, every single conversation is a chance to practice, an opportunity to refine these skills.
We really hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights, some actionable steps.
Yeah, things to help you on your language learning journey.
Keep practicing.
Yeah.
Definitely stay curious. And, try to embrace the process.
The process of becoming a more confident, more effective English speaker.
And that really brings us to the end of this conversation.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.